Learning English can be like learning to play an instrument. At first, it feels hard to play the right notes, and everything might sound wrong. But don't worry. Just like with an instrument, practice will help you get better. One great way to improve your English quickly is with a method called shadowing. Shadowing helps with many problems, like remembering new words, getting your pronunciation right, and understanding spoken English. Let's look at why shadowing works so well and how it can make you a better English speaker. What is shadowing? Imagine you are walking in a beautiful forest. You see someone ahead of you, walking at a nice pace. You start to follow them, step by step, trying to move just like they do. This is a lot like shadowing. In shadowing, you listen carefully to someone speaking in English. Then you immediately repeat what they say, trying to copy their words exactly, like following their shadow. By doing this, you practice both listening and speaking at the same time, which helps your brain get better at understanding and speaking English. Shadowing is like exercising two muscles at once. It helps your brain get used to how words are said and how sentences sound in English. Over time, you'll start speaking more smoothly and naturally. Why is shadowing so effective? There are many reasons shadowing is a great method for improving your English. Let's look at some of the most important ones. 1. It helps you speak clearly. One of the hardest things about learning English is getting your pronunciation right. Sometimes English words are hard to say because they are not pronounced the way they look. For example, the word night is pronounced like night, but there is a silent K at the beginning. This can be confusing, just like trying to follow a recipe that is missing some ingredients. When you shadow a native speaker, you listen carefully to how they pronounce each word. By repeating the words immediately, you practice saying them correctly. It's like learning a song. If you repeat the song enough times, you can sing along smoothly. Over time, you'll sound more like a native speaker, and your words will flow more naturally. It helps you remember words. Learning new words can be tricky. Sometimes words feel like they are scattered all over the place, and you forget them quickly. But shadowing is like a puzzle. You keep repeating the same words and phrases, putting the pieces together until they make sense. For example, let's say you shadow a conversation where someone says, "I've been to the beach many times." By repeating this, you practice the phrase been to and many times. When you keep hearing and repeating the phrases, you will start remembering them better. As you practice more, you will add more words to your memory and your vocabulary will grow. It helps you speak faster. Have you ever tried to speak in English but felt like the words were stuck? Speaking quickly and smoothly can be difficult at first, like trying to run a race when you're not used to moving fast. But shadowing helps you speak more quickly and naturally. When you shadow, you try to repeat the speaker's words right away. This means you must keep up with the speaker, even if they talk fast. At first, it might feel hard, but as you practice, your brain gets better at processing words quickly. Speaking English will start to feel easier, like driving on a road you know well. Soon, you won't need to think too hard about what to say. It teaches you common phrases. In English, we don't just use single words. We use phrases and expressions that sound more natural. For example, instead of saying, "I will go to the store," we often say, "I'm going to the store." Instead of saying, "I'm very tired," we might say, "I'm exhausted." Shadowing helps you learn these phrases. When you listen to native speakers, you hear how they naturally put words together. By repeating these phrases, you can start using them in your own speech. It's like learning a dance. Once you know the steps, you can perform them smoothly. In the same way, once you know these phrases, speaking will feel easier and more natural. It helps you listen better. Shadowing is not just about speaking, it also helps you become a better listener. Imagine trying to catch a ball that is thrown fast. At first, it might be hard, but the more you practice, the better you get. The same thing happens with listening.
When you shadow, you listen to a native speaker and try to repeat what they say. This helps you understand the rhythm and speed of English speech. Over time, you'll get better at recognizing words and phrases, and listening will become easier. It's like catching a fast-moving ball. You'll get better with practice.
How can you use shadowing in your learning? Now that we know why shadowing is so effective, let's talk about how you can use this method to improve your English. Here are some tips to help you get started with shadowing. 1. Choose the right material. The first step in shadowing is to pick the right material. It's important to choose something that is not too difficult, but still a little challenging. You don't want it to be so easy that it doesn't help you improve, but you also don't want it to be so hard that it frustrates you. You can start with podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks made for English learners. These materials are usually clear and slow enough for beginners to follow. If it's too fast, you might get frustrated, and if it's too easy, you won't improve. For example, if you love watching movies, try shadowing a few scenes from your favorite film. Pick scenes where the actors speak slowly and clearly. Begin with simple conversations and then move to more complex ones as you get better. 2. Listen carefully before you repeat. Before you start shadowing, take a few moments to really listen to the speaker. Pay attention to how they say the words, the tone of their voice, and the rhythm of their speech. Understanding these things will make it easier for you to copy them later. Think of it like stretching before you exercise. You need to warm up first. When you feel ready, press play and try to repeat what they say, just like they say it. If you don't get it right the first time, don't worry, just try again. Remember, shadowing is like learning to ride a bike. You need to practice. 3. Start small and build up. If you are new to shadowing, it's a good idea to start with short pieces of audio. You can listen to just 1 or 2 sentences and try to repeat them. Don't try to shadow long conversations at first, as that can be too difficult. Once you feel comfortable with short sentences, you can slowly increase the length. Just like eating a big meal, start with small bites before trying to finish the whole plate. As you get better, try shadowing longer and more complex conversations. Your brain will start processing information faster, and your speaking will become more fluent. 4. Record yourself. One of the best ways to improve is by recording yourself while you shadow. This allows you to listen to your own voice and compare it to the original speaker. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror while practicing a dance. You can hear if your pronunciation is right or if you're speaking at the right speed. For example, after shadowing a sentence like, "I'll call you tomorrow," record yourself saying it. Then, listen to the recording and compare it to the original speaker. Is your pronunciation correct? Are you matching the rhythm? If you notice mistakes, don't worry, just keep practicing. 5. Practice regularly. The key to improving with shadowing is consistency. Just like learning a sport or playing an instrument, you need to practice regularly. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a big difference. Try to set aside a specific time every day to practice shadowing. It could be in the morning while having breakfast or in the evening before bed. The important thing is to practice every day. If you do this, you will start to notice progress. However, don't overdo it. It's important to take breaks and not exhaust yourself. Your brain needs rest to process all the information. It's better to practice in short, regular sessions than to spend hours practicing at once. 6. Repeat, repeat, repeat. One of the best things about shadowing is repetition. The more you repeat, the better you get. Just like learning to play a song on an instrument, you need to practice it many times before you can play it well. If you shadow a sentence like, "I'm going to the store later," repeat it many times until it becomes easy. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Don't be afraid to listen to the same sentences over and over again. Each time you repeat them, you will improve just a little bit more. 7.
Be patient with yourself. At first, shadowing might feel hard, and you might feel like you're not improving quickly. That's okay. Remember, learning a language is like learning to ride a bike. At first, you may fall off, but the more you practice, the better you will get. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning something new. The most important thing is to keep practicing and not give up. With time, you will see progress, just like climbing a mountain. It might seem slow at first, but every step brings you closer to your goal.
Shadowing for different skills. Shadowing is a versatile method. It doesn't just help you improve speaking, it can also help you become better at listening, understanding natural conversations, and learning new words. By practicing shadowing, you work on many parts of the language at once. Here's how shadowing can help you improve various skills. Shadowing for listening and speaking. Many learners focus only on speaking when practicing shadowing, but listening is just as important. Shadowing helps you improve both speaking and listening skills at the same time. You need to listen carefully to the speaker, then repeat what they say right away. This helps you get used to how native speakers speak in real-life situations. When you shadow, pay attention to the tone of the speaker's voice, the rhythm of their speech, and how they stress different words. Over time, you will get better at understanding spoken English and at using the correct rhythm and stress when you speak. For example, imagine you're shadowing a sentence like, "I can't believe it." When you repeat the sentence, make sure to match the rising tone at the end, just like the speaker. This will help you sound more natural when you say it. Shadowing for vocabulary. Shadowing is also a great way to build your vocabulary. When you listen to native speakers, you will come across new words and phrases. Repeating these words helps you remember them. It's like finding new tools in your toolbox. Each new word you learn helps you build your language skills. For example, you might hear the phrase, "take a rain check," in a conversation. By repeating it while shadowing, you learn it more easily. Shadowing helps you remember phrases like this because you hear them in context. This makes it easier to use them in your own conversations. Shadowing for intonation and rhythm. Intonation refers to how your voice rises and falls when you speak. In English, this is very important because the way you say something can change its meaning. Shadowing is a great way to practice this. When you shadow, focus on matching the speaker's rhythm and intonation. This helps you sound more natural. For example, in the sentence, "I can't believe it," the speaker's voice goes up at the end. By shadowing, you learn to use the correct intonation, making your speech sound more like that of a native speaker. It's like singing a song. If you follow the rhythm and melody, you will sound better. Shadowing helps you follow the rhythm and tone of English, so you can speak more fluently and naturally. Shadowing for fluency. Fluency is the ability to speak smoothly and quickly without hesitation. Shadowing helps you develop fluency by training your brain to process words and sentences faster. At first, it may feel hard to speak quickly, like running a race when you're not used to it. But as you practice shadowing, your brain gets better at processing the language. You will start to speak more naturally, like driving on a road you know very well. For example, when you shadow a sentence like, "I'm going to the store later," you may need to pause at first, but with practice, you will be able to say the sentence quickly and smoothly, just like a native speaker. Shadowing for pronunciation and accent. One of the biggest challenges when learning English is getting the pronunciation right. There are many words in English that aren't pronounced the way they are written. For example, kernel
is pronounced like colonel, not colonel. This can be confusing, but shadowing helps you practice these tricky words. By repeating the words you hear, you start to improve your pronunciation and accent. It's like learning a song. The more you practice, the better you sound. Over time, your accent will improve, and you will sound more like a native speaker. For example, if you shadow a sentence like, "She sells seashells by the seashore," you are practicing difficult sounds and pronunciation. Over time, these words will become easier to say, and your English will sound more natural.
Tips for successful shadowing practice. Now that we know how shadowing helps with various skills, let's look at some important tips to make sure your shadowing practice is as effective as possible. 1. Don't be too hard on yourself. When you first start shadowing, you might feel like you're not doing it perfectly. That's okay. Learning a language is like learning to ride a bike. At first, it might be hard, but with practice, you'll get better. Don't let mistakes stop you. Instead, see them as opportunities to learn. For example, if you say a word wrong, don't worry. Just repeat it until you get it right. With each practice, you'll get closer to sounding more natural and fluent. 2. Start slow, then increase speed. It's important to start slow when you first begin shadowing. If you try to go too fast, you might get overwhelmed. Think of it like running a race. Don't start too fast or you'll tire out quickly. Start with easy, slow material. Listen carefully and repeat the sentences at your own pace. As you become more comfortable, you can slowly increase the speed of the material. Over time, you'll be able to keep up with faster speakers. 3. Focus on understanding, not just repeating. Shadowing is not just about repeating the words you hear. It's also about understanding what the speaker is saying. Don't just copy the words without thinking about their meaning. Try to understand the message behind the words. For example, if you're shadowing a conversation about a trip, pay attention to where the person is going, why they are going, and how they feel. Understanding the context will help you remember the words better and use them in your own conversations. 4. Practice regularly, but don't overdo it. To get better at shadowing, it's important to practice regularly. Try to practice for at least 10 to 15 minutes every day. This small, regular practice is better than trying to do a long session once a week. But be careful not to practice too much at once. Just like when you work out, your brain needs breaks. If you practice for too long, you might feel tired and frustrated. It's better to practice a little every day and take regular breaks. 5. Use a variety of materials. To improve all areas of your English, try to use different types of materials. Listen to podcasts, watch movies aloud, or read books or use language learning apps. Each type of material will help you with different skills. For example, movies will help you understand how people speak in everyday conversations, while podcasts will teach you more formal or professional language. By using a variety of materials, you will improve your vocabulary, listening, and speaking skills in many different areas. Shadowing for success. Reaching your goals. Shadowing is a fantastic method for improving your English, but it's important to remember that the key to success is consistent practice. As with any skill, language learning takes time and dedication. Let's explore how you can make the most out of shadowing to achieve your language goals. 1. Be patient with yourself. Language learning is a journey, and shadowing is just one step along the way. At first, you might feel like you're not making progress or that it's hard to keep up with the speaker. That's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Everyone starts somewhere, and mistakes are part of the learning process. Think of learning a language like learning to ride a bike.
At first, it's wobbly and difficult, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. The same goes for shadowing. Don't be discouraged if it's hard at first. Just keep practicing, and you will see improvement over time. As you shadow, you will feel more confident, and your language skills will improve. Keep going. 2. Use shadowing to set goals. One great way to stay motivated while shadowing is to set specific goals. For example, you could set a goal to shadow for 10 minutes every day for a week, or to shadow one new phrase or sentence every day. Small, clear goals will help you stay focused and track your progress. You could also challenge yourself to shadow different types of material. Start with easier material, such as beginner podcasts or audiobooks, and then move on to more difficult material, like fast-paced conversations or interviews. By setting goals, you can measure how far you've come and feel proud of your achievements. 3. Use technology to enhance your practice. In today's digital world, there are many tools and resources that can help you with shadowing. You can use apps, websites, and videos to find material that's perfect for your level. There are also many resources available for English learners, including podcasts, YouTube channels, and audiobooks that can help you practice shadowing effectively. Some apps even let you slow down the audio, which makes it easier to follow along. This can be especially helpful when you're starting out. As you get more comfortable, you can gradually increase the speed to challenge yourself further. With technology, you can always find new material that keeps your practice fresh and exciting. 4. Make shadowing fun. Shadowing doesn't have to feel like a boring task. In fact, it can be fun. Choose materials that interest you. If you love movies, try shadowing scenes from your favorite films. If you enjoy cooking, find cooking podcasts or videos and shadow the words used in recipes. The more you enjoy the material, the more you will want to practice. For example, if you're shadowing a conversation about a holiday or trip, you might feel more motivated because you can imagine yourself in that situation. Shadowing can become a fun way to explore topics you enjoy, all while improving your English. 5. Track your progress. It can be difficult to see improvement day by day, but if you look back after a few weeks of shadowing, you will notice changes in your speaking and listening abilities. Keep track of your progress by recording yourself regularly and comparing your recordings over time. You might be surprised at how much better you sound. Another way to track progress is by keeping a language journal. Write down the new words or phrases you've learned from shadowing, along with your thoughts and reflections on your practice sessions. This will help you stay motivated and excited about your progress. Shadowing is an incredibly effective and enjoyable way to improve your English skills. It helps you improve pronunciation, vocabulary, fluency, listening, and even speaking confidence. The more you practice, the better you will get, and soon you will start to notice a huge difference in your ability to understand and speak English. Remember, the key to success with shadowing is regular practice. Start with short, easy material and gradually challenge yourself with more difficult content as you improve. Be patient with yourself, set goals, and have fun while practicing. Over time, you will find that speaking English becomes easier, more natural, and more confident. Shadowing isn't just about repeating words, it's about connecting with the language and getting used to how it sounds in real conversations. By shadowing consistently, you will make steady progress and become a better, more fluent English speaker. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and enjoy the journey of learning English.